I understand. I understand. I understand. It's the worst thing you can say to an employee that's going through a rough time. And here's why.
Just lead.
From time to time, our employees will come to us to share some bad news, whether that's the death of a loved one, a relationship breakdown, or a bad decision that's resulted in a lost driver's license. In these moments, we want to simply empathise with them, lean in, let them know it's going to be okay, and let them know that I understand. But the reality of the situation is that you can't truly understand what's going on with them. How are emotions even formed? And can we even understand another person's emotions? The classic view of emotions is that they occupy certain parts of the brain. And then when triggers go off, they elicit certain reactions to come to the forefront, like rustling of the leaves in a forest elicits the fear reaction. Your brain will scroll through the emotions that it has on offer and then bring out the appropriate one at the right time. A good friend dies. Okay, let's scroll through that. Yep, the sadness emotion, that's appropriate. Let's get that done. Bang. Under this classic view, it is possible to understand what a person is going through in a given situation. You can imagine your own good friend dying. You can imagine what you would be going through at that time, the feelings that you would be feeling. And then you'd be able to look at your employee whose good friend just died and be able to say, yeah, I understand what you're going through. What this is called is projecting. You're projecting your own emotions and your own perspective onto those of your employee. If you've been getting anything at all out of this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, press the like button, leave a comment down below. If you're out there and looking for advice and coaching and help, I am available, and you can click on the Patreon link down below to get access to all my membership packs there, in which I can provide feedback and coaching one-on-one for you and you specifically. Current studies now suggest something wildly different. Emotions aren't ready to rock and roll in your brain. You can't determine someone's emotions by the expressions on their face. There are no universal emotions, and emotions aren't triggered by external factors. Instead of being set and forget, emotions are concepts in your brain. Your brain will take in the external influence around you and then scroll through past experience to compile what it believes should be an appropriate response to the situation at hand. If your good friend dies, your brain will understand that they are no longer there. It will scroll through your past experiences and understand the weight that that person had on your life. And in this example specifically, that weight will vary greatly person to person. Because of this, you can't understand what someone is going through. You don't have the weight of past experiences that they've had to be able to judge their emotions in the same light. It really is impossible to put yourself in someone else's shoes. You just end up projecting your own emotions and your own feelings. Further to this, when someone is going through a tough time, they can often feel like it's the worst thing in the world. And then by that logic, for anyone to be able to understand what they're going through is impossible. When you, as their leader who doesn't know them as intimately as others, say that I understand, you're minimizing their emotions. The technical term for this is emotional invalidation. And instead of making things better, which is your true intention, you end up making them far worse. So what do you use instead of I understand? The key part is to move away from the word I. Don't make this about yourself. It's about them and what they're going through. And there's plenty of things you can say. That must be tough. I'm sorry for your loss. Is there anything I can do for you? And ultimately, remember, your employees are your main focus. If they need time, give them time. Manage that time, but ensure that they get the time that they need to get better. It isn't super obvious, this one. Anytime that I've brought up I understand as being a bad thing to say in a leadership short course, the facilitator has looked at me, given me a dubious sideways glance and gone, yeah, maybe not, and then moved on with the conversation. This is why it's important to treat leadership as a vocation and continue to learn and grow into the role. And you can see what I mean by clicking here.